Still in my work clothes. So I shouldn't want to have my jacket on. That looks like super formal, but I didn't even think about it till I saw the camera. And you can see I've got my leopard one back here. But how are you guys doing? As I said last night, that I'm coming off of 2 committee meetings. So it's been a long day for me. And I'm just yabbering a little bit to give a little time for an audience if there is going to be any. And hey, Doc Sexy, how are you doing? So yeah, earlier today I had the LP Historical Preservation Committee, and I just got out of the Libertarian Party of Colorado's Convention Oversight Committee. I am freaking tired. I want to go to bed. I wasn't going to do a stream today, but we got some fantastic news that I wanted to share with you guys in order to, keep you up to date. We followed the Virginia saga all the way from that completely dictatorial board who had the absolute gall and chutzpah to think that just because you happened to sit in a certain position as a custodian of the party, I can't even imagine the type of ego that you would have to think that you could vote to dissolve a party that's been around for 50 years. Like, you're a terrible person. But terrible people, karma is delicious. So, the members of Virginia weren't going to take it sitting down. I'm doing just a little bit of a recap for you before we get to the current news. And Holly Ward and her merry band of alleged incompetent coup masters inadvertently united a bunch of diverse factions in the Libertarian Party of Virginia. And, they got their stuff together. They had their special convention in December. They rescinded the election of all the bad faith actors. They're, in my point of view, lucky that they didn't face criminal charges because they were dealing with the misuse of $30,000 or whatever. But so they had their convention, they elected officers, they rescinded the election of the people who were absolutely undeserving of the honor that was bestowed upon them and the trust that was given to them by delegates. And, they went on their merry way. The alleged corporate dissolution was always a red herring. It had nothing to do with the existence of the affiliate, but there were still some bad actors on Twitter who kept posting the screenshots where it said pending dissolution as if that had anything to do with the status as a party. It had nothing to do with it. But, those people kept, like little gnats doing this or that. And yes, Dean, since her election was rescinded, you are the immediate past chair because it's as if she was never chair at all. May her memory be blotted out from the LPVA. But guess what happened today? Because immediately when this alleged dissolution happened, which was just completely against the laws of Virginia, the Virginia Secretary of State was notified that this was illegitimate. But you want to know something? In the scheme of things, this is a big deal to us libertarians. It was certainly a traumatic big deal to the people in Virginia. But in the scheme of things, the state doesn't care, and most people didn't care. And fortunately, one of the board members that had ethics that disagreed with that decision was the treasurer, and that their money stayed put. But what happened today is that Virginia's Secretary of State revoked the dissolution. So all of that you did, Holly, you probably had no principles to sell down the river. But if you had any, all of that, was it worth it for that 15 minutes of fame that you got, where even the people that cheered you on don't trust you because nobody trusts somebody that stabs people that trusted them in the back and then runs to dirty, dirty smear merchants to call them all kinds of names. The people you think are your friends now, they don't trust you for a second. You're like a cheating spouse. But let's take a look. Let's rejoice in the beauty of this. So I'm going to see if it'll let me share my screen. I'm pretty sure it will. But let's see. So it's this screen. Oh, a Chrome tab. That's what I want to share. Here we go. So look at the beauty of this. So as you can see, active and in good standing as of today. And let's look at the filing history. And I'm just assuming that this is sharing my screen. You guys can tell me when I come back to the tab that has my restream. But look right here, articles of revocation of dissolution. And, you know, it's all very simple forms, but we're going to pull it up if it will pull up on this screen. I don't know whether it will. I was able to look at it earlier. Oh, it's making me download it. Well, I don't think it'll let me share that. But let's see. It downloaded it. I'm not sure where it downloaded it to, but yep, it's going to pull it up in a browser tab. Good. Let's see if it'll show the actual document. There you go. Articles of revocation of dissolution. The status at the time the articles were filed was pending inactive. And you could see she lied on the dissolution. She said by a vote of the members. It wasn't by a vote of the members. It was by a vote of the board. And the Virginia non-stock corporation law says if really the only voting members are the board, it would require a 2/3 vote. And they didn't have a 2/3 vote. But again, of course, I am just, you know, revisiting the history you guys know. So I'm going to stop sharing that and go back here. So guess what? The final nail in the coffin has been driven in the wood. So now the little gnats on Twitter won't be able to be sharing that screenshot, which they knew damn well meant nothing anyway. So my recommendation, though, you know, and of course, if you're dealing with your bylaws, go talk to a parliamentarian, but you probably should put things in your bylaws that talk about disaffiliation, a la New Mexico, dissolution, a la Virginia. I can tell you that, and the Doc Sexy said the download might not have been showing. It was a simple form that just shows that it was it gave the history of the alleged dissolution, and the dissolution was revoked. So now there is absolutely nothing anyone can point to but a bunch of petulant, corrupt leaders that really just had the unmitigated gall to think that they had the right to just go, oh, we're going to throw a little pissy fit. So we're going to dissolve the work of 50 years of people and thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting behavior. And guess what? You just got bitch slapped by Virginia. And it couldn't have happened to better people. So I imagine that Holly's not having a good night tonight. She's having probably a very hard time. Thoughts and prayers. Ooh, ooh, woo. Thoughts and prayers. Holly's probably not feeling too well. Go have a drink. Yeah, I'm being a little catty, but I'm being catty on behalf of the members of Virginia. Anyway, so that sad little tale is over. And the lesson to be learned, go take a look at your own bylaws and documents and make sure that you're protected from penny little tyrants. And I'm just giving it a few moments to see if there's any comments before I peace out for the night. I'm super tired. I want to go to bed. I know it's only like 9 o'clock here, but I did not sleep well last night and got up like at 3:30 in the morning and worked on bylaws for like 2.5 hours. So yeah, I'm tired. I want to try to get to some sleep. I've got a national convention committee meeting tomorrow. As I said, up through February 18th, I am super, super busy. All right, everyone. I hope you have an awesome night. I hope this is some happy, welcome news. And we can just move on. All right. And hey, Richard, how are you doing? Okay, I'm going to be going, and I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow, but I expect to be. Probably a history stream. That's what I was going to do tonight, and I was just so tired. So this was just a convenient update that I was able to do quickly. So love you all. Have an awesome night.